I'm maybe wasting my lemon while I'm out. You know what you probably need?
Hello, Mary.
Hello,
How are you doing?
I'm okay, thank you.
Good. How was your weekend?
Like ever.
Sorry, what did you say?
Like ever, nothing special.
Okay. All right. Your most devoted English student looks like.
How are you?
Well, I'm a little ill, actually. Just you know, I'm having slight cold. Just cough. I have cough and just a little runny nose. So it's, but in other things, I'm okay. Good evening, Michael.
Have all family call.
No, just me.
It's bad.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I think I'm gonna be better soon. So, let's start our discussion. Good evening, Michael.
Hello, Sergey. So,
Are you?
what about we talking today?
We're talking about motivation today.
It's interesting.
Yes. Can you give me a definition of motivation? What is motivation?
Motivation?
Yes.
I think it's in general, yeah, it's things or doings which help you to understand or to do something better.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or don't do. Didn't.
or don't do. Yes, you're right. Mary, do you have anything to add to Michael's comment?
I think it's something what stimulate you for action. I think it's more better for action, for don't do something. But sometimes maybe don't do something.
Yeah, you're right. So there is one website gives the definition of the word motivation is a desire to do things. Yeah? And so it says that it's a crucial element in setting and attaining goals. And research shows that you can influence your own levels of motivation and self-control. Yeah, so it's a desire to do things. Yeah, you're motivated, so you want to do so. Are you a motivated person, Mikhail?
It depends on on the subject, yeah, because sometimes I think it's no, I have a lot of different things about it, but maybe part of them not are interesting for me, yes, and I'm not motivated to do something, and so yeah, and, if you talk about work, or what about Victoria?
Just in general. In general. Okay.
Yeah, I think I know how motivate
Let me run.
myself.
Okay, Mary, are you a motivated person?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay. But do you think motivation is important for our life?
Yes, I think it's important.
And why, Michael? Why do you think motivation is important?
I think it's interesting things which helps maybe to have a better how to say it's effective to make work or another kind of things effective maybe, yeah, effective.
Okay.
More effective. Yeah.
Okay. And in which maybe aspects of our lives do we need motivation? Mary or Mikhail, if you want to continue, go on.
As I understand, we can use it in any different type of work or in a hobby, and you know, sometimes if we understand motivation like you know, we have a it's like vice versa. Motivation, usually it's a good thing, yeah. But we have the opposite situation when something bad happened if you don't do something, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Mary, do you have to add anything?
I think motivation is important for all our life, work and hobby, and maybe personal life. I think everything aspect.
Yeah, if you want to be a successful person, you need motivation. Yeah. If we're talking about English, right? You may agree that motivation also important in studying English. Because when you're motivated, you progress, you dedicate your time into it. If you're not motivated, then you will think, oh, learning English, it's just another obligations, one of obligations in my life. So, and you probably study English, not only with me, maybe you have another English teacher. So my question is, how does your English teacher motivate you to study English? Or maybe somebody else does it for you? Mary?
I don't know. I think teachers don't motivate us because only we can motivate ourselves.
Okay. So who motivate you? You motivate yourself, right?
Yes.
No other man doesn't do it.
They can, but I think it's not really matter for teacher. I don't know.
Okay. Michael, who motivates you to study English?
Oh, it's interesting thing. Maybe I will talk. I can talk with you about this later. Not on the
Okay.
I have some interesting idea, but it's not possible to say on the lesson.
Okay, it's just something really personal information. Okay.
I feel myself little, how to say, not needless. No.
Sorry, what did you say? I didn't catch all.
I don't know how to say. Not usefulness. After Michael say, okay, nothing.
All right. All right. But do you think teachers' role in motivation is important? Like, do teachers play important roles in motivation students, or no? Or it's only up to you to be motivated or not motivated? Okay, and we have a new student here, Ivan. Hello, Ivan. You can hear me? Maybe not.
Hello, sorry, it's Alexander. I don't know why.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's Ivan. I hear. I know this voice. Yeah, but you're in disguise, aren't you?
Sorry?
I say you are in disguise, secret. Undercover. Alexander decided to use a new nickname.
I don't know what happened. I don't know. Maybe I changed the account for time.
Maybe. Mr. Ivan. Okay, good to see you also today.
Me too.
So we're talking about motivation. And I ask a question. Do teachers play important role in motivating English students, in your opinion? Or it just the your own motivation matters?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
Okay, one more time. I say, I ask about teachers' role in motivating students to study English, or it just student can only motivate himself or herself, and it doesn't depend on teacher.
I think it doesn't depend on teacher, because if student doesn't have motivation, he will never meet teacher. And if he met teacher, it means that he has some motivation. I would say that teacher could help maybe to help use their motivation, maybe to help to make interest for student, something like that.
You mean like to make the information interesting, or to increase the interest? What do you mean?
Yes, yes.
To increase their interest, right, or their motivation. Okay. Mary?
Yes, I agree. The main part of knowledge can only man give yourself, and teacher can only to show some direction for learning.
Okay. Mikhail?
What is the question?
Question is about teacher's role in motivation, or in students' motivation.
Okay, but you know, I think teachers, of course, have a special role in this, but the main part for me is like a self-motivation. If it's interesting for student, it's a much more help with the student to improve English, yeah, and so something like that, you know.
I can add something. For example, maybe a teacher can give motivation in situation. For example, student in university learn English, and teacher can say him, for example, you should learn this. If you don't do this, you how to say, you won't get rate.
A good grade, yeah.
Something like that.
Well, it sounds more like a threat. It's not. Well, in some sort, it will motivate you to study, but on the other hand, it sounds like a threat. If you won't do this, you get bad results. And we have Ludmila here. Good evening, Ludmila.
Hello.
Nice to see you here.
Yes, I have some problems with my web camera, but I promise I will repair it.
Okay, it's not really important as long as we can hear you and you can hear us. That's that's what's important for our lesson. Yeah. So we're talking about
what is going on here.
Well, technique is unpredictable, and sometimes it doesn't work at time we need it. It's okay. Is that your first time here, or
yes.
Okay? And then can you tell a little bit of something about yourself? Just introduce yourself to others.
So my name is Luda, and I just graduated from university. I'm 21 years old, so I'm quite a young person, and I work as a teacher at school. Teach both Russian and English language, and now it's kind of my hobby. I don't know, because first of all, I'm in shock of this work, but then I'm trying to enjoy it. So
I see.
it's funny students, and I enjoy communicating with them.
Yeah, thank you for your introduction. And today we're talking about motivation. And my question was, do you think teachers play important role in motivation, in students' motivation? From your point of view as a teacher.
It's difficult to say, but I have a great example. I didn't like literature at all when I was at university, and I hated it. But maybe at this short form, I met a beautiful, wonderful teacher of literature, and I fell in love with literature. And now I read everything I have under my hand, and I take all books and I read it, and I know that I can go to this person, I can call to this person, and I know that this person will explain me if I don't understand something. And so I think that teacher has the greatest role in the process of learning both languages and both literature and both, I don't know, in mathematics. So.
Yeah, thank you very much. So we hear that's an example of teacher's role in motivation. And may I ask you, how do you personally, as a teacher, motivate your students? What do you do?
I bake cakes for them, and they always read my lesson because sometimes I bring cakes with me. Oh, some strange sound.
Could you there is a
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Do you hear some strange things?
Wait a second. Sergey, you need to turn on the microphone.
What about microphone?
Yeah, it's something we have echo. We
Echo.
need to turn on microphone, and it's help us.
Okay, maybe I should switch to headphones. Just a moment. Maybe echo.
But you know, I think like now it's better. Yeah.
Okay, is it better now?
Yes.
Okay, okay, all right.
So I told about cakes, and I bring sometimes cakes for my students, so it's always a surprise for them, but they are waiting for it.
Okay, so you motivate them with sweets, yeah?
Both with sweets and with good stories, I think.
Okay. Well, that's a good motivation. Okay. My next question, how do you, in general, motivate people to do things for you? What do you do? Maybe do you offer to help them if they help you, or do you encourage them, bribe them, threaten them? So feel free to discuss. Mary, how do you motivate other people?
Other people?
Yes.
Different sometimes. I don't know. Sometimes say that they should do something because if they don't do, it can be bad for them. Sometimes, you know, sometimes people do something better when people feel yourself little stupid. So sometimes it can motivate people really. And
What do you mean? Can you explain how?
teach when I speak with my sister and she doesn't want to learn, and I try like explain something, and when she feels herself a little stupid, she start to learn.
Okay, just like reverse psychology, like make her feel stupid, and
yes, and they try to learn more, do something more better.
Okay, Alexander, are you here?
Me?
Yes. Okay. So, how do you motivate other people to do things for you? What do you do?
How I motivate? For example, I speak to them in English, and they don't have any choose, and they should learn English to understand me.
I see. You just put them in front of the fact. You just face this thing. I don't speak with you in Russian, then, so you have to learn. You just force your students, or to teach or to study by talking to them in English. Okay. In any other situation, what do you do? Maybe you want to motivate someone, you know, to get fit, or maybe something else. Do you have any other methods?
I don't have idea any.
Okay. Okay, and Ludmila, what? Okay, go on.
Because I need a motivation of me. Yes.
For yourself, you need motivation for yourself. I see. Ludmila, so how do you motivate other people to do something? Well, besides you told about your student, how do you motivate them? But
it's very simple with me, because I ask only that people whom I shouldn't motivate. So I know that if I ask something this person, I know that this person will do it without any questions. So if I'm not sure about it, I will not ask this person about anything.
I see. But imagine that you need to motivate someone to do something. In this case, what would you do, or which method would you use?
First of all, I will ask. If it doesn't work, I will maybe try to propose something instead of what this person does. I don't know.
Okay.
Try to change one help for another help.
Exchange, like if if you do this for me, I'll do this for you too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's all my ways, I don't know.
Okay. My next question: do you always find it easy to motivate yourself to do something? Okay, who wants to start? Self-motivation, that's very important thing, because as for me, I could say in some cases it's really difficult to be motivated.
Even impossible to do it.
Well, again, I think if I realize that it's important for me, I will be motivated, right? Let's say, to get fit. I go to a gym. I started to go to the gym since January. Well, and at the beginning it was really difficult for me to go there, because very often I was tired, and your body aches after that. But let's say for me, motivation was the thought that I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing it to change my body, and I want to be fit. So that motivates me to go, even if I don't really want to go, and it helps me to continue doing this. What about you, Mary? Maybe you can say what helps you to motivate yourself.
I don't know. No, I not helpful in this question. For me, I don't know. It's hard to answer now. It's maybe some period in my life, so I'm not motivated.
Not motivated. Okay.
Yes.
Alexander.
The question was, how can I motivate myself?
Yes. Yeah.
I need example. For example, gym. Okay. I look at the mirror and I see, who is it? Is it me? Oh, I should go to the gym. Yeah, like something like that.
Yeah, okay, that's good. And Ludmila, what about you?
I'm not sure, but I can tell that I'm motivated by time. So I know the time where I should do some work, and I try to share all work to some little parts and do everything by sometimes.
Okay, so you set yourself a time limit, right? When certain work should be done. Yeah. Okay. Anything else that maybe it will be helpful for others? Your experience.
I know a lot of people, but I'm the only person whom I know who can work in such a way. So other people just do everything at the last moment, so it's impossible for them to use my way.
Okay. Let's move on. Now, let's discuss how do you motivate yourself in the following situations. So, how do you motivate to watch a film in English, Alexander?
I don't know how to say. I just remember always that I need to improve my English, and that it's a good idea to watch film in English. Maybe maybe that's all.
Okay. Mary, how do you motivate yourself to watch an English movie?
I even don't motivate myself because I all time watching movie in English, only if I alone.
Okay.
If I with somebody, I watching in Russian.
Mary?
For me, it's better because it's more interesting for me. Because sometimes I have some word which I don't know, so it's good, and I don't motivate myself.
You don't need motivation, yeah. You like it.
Mary, can I ask you?
Of course.
Do you watch movie in Russian or Ukrainian, for example?
If I alone, no.
But sometimes I think that maybe it's good not motivation, it's good rule to make yourself watch films, movies just in English, and maybe it will help us. And I think about this idea sometimes.
For me, now it's boring to watch movie in Russian. It's not so interesting because you can hear original word and you can know original meaning. So it's
But sometimes you do it, yes?
what I do
Sometimes you watch movies not
in
in
Russian.
English.
Yes, if I don't alone. If I'm not alone.
Yes, and I say about a way to improve English, watching just in English. Maybe it's a how to say, it's a motivation. If you want watch interesting movie, you should do it just in English.
Yeah, I think yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mila, do you need the motivation to watch films in English?
No, I don't need. I have the same situation as Mary has. And I even sometimes I even enjoy English films more than in Russian. For example, I saw Enigma both in English and both in Russian, and I enjoyed only in English because I didn't like the translation of this film into Russian. It's horrible, and it doesn't convey the whole meaning of this film, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you too, because something might be lost in translation, or you learn some expression, idioms, let's say some figurative speech, which it's good for you because you will not hear or you will not read it in a book, maybe. Yeah, but in watching films, you can hear the language, the living language, the modern language of English today. Yeah, and you can pick up
Process of enjoying listening to this speech and with the original voices, even don't English language, but even voices of the actors. I think it's nice to do it.
Yeah, or do you remember this horrible translation, like with the guy now like going yeah. When I watch such film, start such film, I wanted to turn it off right away because the translation is so confusing that it's like don't even start, don't even I better even don't hear anything, don't say anything in Russian because it's only interferes with the movie.
But sometimes it's difficult to understand the English speech. For example, I started to watch Supernatural in English, and it was difficult for me to understand it. So it depends on film, depends on language skills of actors.
Of course, yes. People speak different accents, yes, because some people find frustrating is watching in English because it's like, oh, I don't understand. Oh, it's too difficult. They speak too fast. But that's again, if you find it difficult, then you need to have motivation in order to watch film, no matter what. And again, you need to realize that it's important for you, for your vocabulary skills, for your listening skills. Yeah. And of course, maybe you should start watching something more simple or something that you've seen already in your native language. Then watching movies in English will be more enjoyable, more pleasant. Okay, how about reading books in English? How do you motivate yourself to read books in English, Mary?
I read it, but now I don't read book. I don't know. I don't read book. I don't know why. So, but if no, I read, but it was not a digital book, so I have only in Russian.
I see.
I think it's also useful.
So you need motivation for reading, Mary. you need to motivate yourself in this aspect.
For me, it's okay read in English, but I maybe in this month don't read any one book, so not in Russian, not in English.
Okay, I see. And we have a new person here, which I don't know if it's a real name or not, Bob Marley, or some. Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Is real Bob Marley alive?
I don't think so. All right. It's maybe a shy learner. Okay, or maybe he can't hear me. Ludmila, do you need motivation to read books in English?
Yes, I need strong motivation to do it because it takes me a lot of power to do it. But I prefer such books. I don't know how to explain, but you open the book, and on one page there is English variant, and on another page there is Russian translation of this. So you don't need to use translator or dictionary. So you just can look at another page and find all unknown moments. So at that variant, it's suitable to read as for me. So I read in such a way fairy tales by Oscar Wilde, and it wasn't difficult to understand. It was quite clearly.
Well, I think it's called like Méthode Elie Franco, if I'm not mistaken. So when you hear
But it's quite easy, and it doesn't take a lot of time and a lot of power to do it.
Okay. Yeah. But do you think this is maybe the best way to do so, to read in English when you have already Russian text in your book?
It depends on book, because if you read, for example, someone modern authors, I don't think that it's difficult to do because it's modern English, and I'm not sure that they use some difficult words and some ancient words. But if we speak about some, I don't know, Shakespeare or I don't know, I think it's difficult to read.
Okay.
Because it's a difficult period of language, and there are a lot of ancient words, and it's impossible, I think, to do it. So if we need to read English books, we should read modern authors.
Okay.
I agree. I agree with Ludmila, because I see some like it was something like not a TV show, but it's a video from the British Council lessons about Shakespeare's. So a lot of words which don't use now, like ancient.
Yeah. But do you think, up to which level you should read adapted books, and when do you need to start actually reading an original way? Mary, what do you think?
I think when you feel that you can read without vocabulary and it's okay, I think for this time.
Okay, all right. Alexander, what do you say?
Sorry, could you repeat?
Okay, I'm saying when is it a good idea to always read adapted books, or maybe you should start reading books in original language without maybe explanations? And if so, when you should do that?
I think it depends on level of student. If he just a beginner, he should read adapted book because original book can to how to say can kill the interest of reading of the student, and if he read adapted book well, he should read original books.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And we have here some new people. Aslan, can you hear me? Or he can't?
One more shy learner.
Yeah, one more shy learner. Yeah, we have two. Okay, another situation. How do you motivate to come yourself to an English lesson? Because let's say now it's summertime, you want to go to a picnic, maybe go to the beach, and like 8 o'clock is just you know, the time maybe the fun time to go out, and there is English lesson. How do you motivate yourself, Mary?
I don't know, for me it's okay. For me it's interesting. Why not?
Okay, so you don't need motivation, yeah?
Yes. In this
Okay.
case, I don't need.
Alexander, how do you motivate yourself to come to English lesson?
It's okay. Summer and beach. It's a day at afternoon and lessons in the evening.
I see.
I have time for everything.
Okay, good. Ludmila, how do you motivate yourself to come to an English lesson?
I don't need to motivate myself because I like English and I like new people and I like communication because I'm a philologist. So anyway, I like to speak. Anyway, I like to change and to tell some thoughts and to listen to some thoughts. So it's always easy and it doesn't need. I don't need any efforts to do it.
Okay, that's good. And you know, for me as for teacher, it's it's good to hear because I have such motivated students, English students. Okay, if anyone else who's not participating at the moment want to say something, you're welcome to speak. Anyone? Okay, well then we can move to next situation. How do you motivate yourself to do homework? Well, if you have one.
Homework or housework?
I can tell now because I give homeworks, but I don't do them. So it's not necessary for me.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Who does homework?
I think the motivation comes with a deadline.
Yeah, if you're out of time and you need to, you must do this exercise or this work.
Yeah. Even that moment, it helps.
Okay. Let's say, Mary, do you have to add anything to this?
I don't have some homework.
Okay. Let's change the word homework for housework. How about this? How do you motivate yourself to do a housework?
I don't know, for me maybe it's important because I don't like when house dirty. I don't like some mess. It's irritate me, so for me it's better to have clean house. And I don't know, some cook in fridge.
I see. Thank you. Alexander, what about housework? How do you motivate yourself to do housework?
If I lost something and I can't find it, I need to do housework.
I see. Людмила?
When I found some interesting audiobook, I understand that I need to clean my house because I need to do something with my hands while I'm listening to new book.
Okay. I see. Another situation, how do you motivate yourself to learn new words? Because some people find it difficult to do so. Michael, how do you motivate yourself to learn new words?
Yeah, for me it's hard because I don't have a lot of time for this, but I motivate you by reading. If I have an interesting book in English, I can read it and understand vocabulary from the book.
Okay, thank you. Alexander?
For me, the best motivation for learning vocabulary is learning lyrics of songs. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your experience. Mary, how do you motivate yourself to learn new words?
I know I do it every day. It's a goal every day.
So how do you do this? Like, okay, do you use like a word of the day, or maybe a phrase of the day or something? How do you do this?
I think everybody know about one site, Lingleo, yes, and I train word in this site.
Okay, you practice there. Okay.
I maybe learn word in this side, some word and add in that side.
Okay, good. Ludmila, what about you? How do you motivate yourself to learn new words?
I have the same situation that Alexander has. I listen to music, I watch films, and they just stay in my memory, and it's the way of my learning new words. Because the basic knowledge, I have the basic knowledge about words, so there is dictionary with minimum of words, so I learned it. So and now it's just the way to add some new vocabulary.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, and I think the best way to remember new words is to apply them, to use them. I mean, in daily life. So if you learn a new word, you should use it as much as possible. Then you can really put it in practice, and then you will really remember this word. Use it in sentence when you talk to someone in English. Yeah, for me, I tried to learn French. Yeah, and then I was in the car with a group of also learners of French, and I was reading an article, and there was one word that was quite often in this article. So by the end of this article, I learned this word because, like, okay, what does it mean? I have to ask several times of the meaning of this word, and then maybe on fourth or seventh time I was able to actually remember this this word. So the more you use new word in your daily life, then the faster you will remember it. Okay. There is a statement I will read to you, and then decide if it's true or false, and explain. There is a statement: an English teacher is responsible for motivating his or her students to study. Do you agree or disagree with this? Mikhail.
Hard to say. Partly. As you remember, I think it's the main idea. It's self-motivation for the student, but sometimes it happens when teachers help maybe to help to find interesting things and motivate students work or learn more time or better to something like.
Okay, thank you. Alexander, what do you think? An English teacher is responsible for motivating his students.
As I already said, that it doesn't depend on teacher. It depends on just students, on the reason of learning English.
Okay, and Ludmila, do you agree or disagree with this? That as teachers, we are responsible for motivation students.
I think it's 50-50 because first of all, motivation is the problem of the person who should be motivated. But on the other hand, I gave you an example when the teacher can motivate really to do everything. And both teachers of language, teachers of literature, all teachers influence their student, and all teacher can make the student fall in love with them subjects. So 50-50, it's my opinion.
Okay, and Mary?
I think it's more important as the student's disease.
Disease?
Disease to learn.
Disease, as my knowledge
Desire.
is not desire. Yeah, yes.
So, but teacher also important.
Okay. So, at the end, how do you say? Maybe in summer, maybe you have experience, how good experience of motivating other people. You can also share with us, or maybe what else helps you to be motivated. If you have something to say as a conclusion of our discussion.
I think in general the best motivation it's like an example how people do, how maybe not usual people, but how interesting for you people, or how it's working in the different situation, what they do.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a different, different situation. But if you see how how it's happened in this way, you can like have a approximation, yeah, and try to understand what to do.
Yeah, and you made a good point here. I agree with you. Like, let's say if you want to be a good athlete or sportsman, you need to read about successful people in this area. Yeah.
Yeah, and as I say, it's usually if you cannot if you can find a lot of books, you can read different maybe from different areas. It's I think it helps not with a low
Yeah. So real life stories of successful people, or maybe if some people, they, let's say if they want to be fit, like they put a picture of maybe a famous athlete or famous sportsman, and they look at this picture every day and they say, I want to be like this man. Yeah, and it's much ways them. Day by day, they start progressing in it. Or let's say in business, I know some people do. They maybe like set a goal. They print a list of goals, and they say, by this time I want to do this, this, and this. Yeah, and then they check. Okay, I've done this. So I need to do something to do in the future.
It's like to-do list, but with a strategic meaning like for a long time.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, or anyone would like to add something?
I have a conclusion that if the person can imagine something, the person can do this. So there is no boundaries for people, and the problem is the problem of motivation. So if you can imagine it, you can reach it. So just do it, and that's all. Don't think about it, and don't try to find some excuses not to do this. Just do it, and that's all. And be proud of yourself.
Yeah, it's a good, good conclusion. Just do it. If you think about this all the way, like, oh, I can't. Oh, it's too difficult. I'm not skillful enough. Oh, yeah, just do it. Yeah. It's a good motivation. Yeah, there is nothing impossible. In reality, all barriers. It's mostly in our mind, in our head. Yeah. So if we say I cannot do this, you really put yourself in the position that's, yeah. But if you say,
people couldn't imagine several hundreds years ago that they would fly, but now we can do this. Maybe I can imagine that we can get from one place to another place just without any help. So I'm sure that several years later we will do it, and we will be able to do this. So just do, and that's all.
Okay, thank you. Mary, do you have to add anything? Can you add anything to what was?
I agree with everybody. I think it's important to want to know what you want and to do it, and maybe sometimes compare yourself with somebody what you want to be, like who you want to be. So it can be useful.
Okay. So, guys, thank you for coming tonight for this discussion. I wish you to be motivated English students, and I wish you to be successful in other areas of your life. And I wish you also to be motivating factors for others. Maybe your example will motivate others to change their lives and be better also in some things. It was a pleasure to talk to you tonight, and I wish you good night, and I see you next week.
Okay, see you.
Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.